Hello students, our next topic we are going to revise tetralogy of Fallot. What is tetralogy of Fallot? It is characterized by the combination of four defects. The four defects are pulmonary stenosis, then ventricular septal defect, overriding of aorta, hypertrophy of right ventricles. So I repeat, the four defects which is present in the tetralogy. Tetra means four of Fallot. Fallot particularly about the heart. So four defects which is present in the heart. Pulmonary stenosis, where the pulmonary valves are stenosed. So due to that, the blood can't able to properly pass through the pulmonary artery. So sufficient amount of blood will not reach to the lungs for purification. So due to this, the cardiac output will be diminished. So less blood output will be there. At the same time, oxygenated blood also very less. The next, ventricular septal defect. So due to ventricular septal defect, excess possibility are there mixing of the blood. So pure blood versus impure blood both will get mixed together. So particularly from the higher concentration towards the lower concentration, more possibility are there from this section. The next, overriding of aorta. The aorta was override and present at the center of the ventricles, particularly present between the right and left ventricle. So due to this, what happened? Due to the overriding, the blood usually used to get mixed from the right ventricle also, as well as from the left ventricle also, pushed towards the aorta. So the blood will used to get mixed together. So due to this, the pure oxygenated blood supply will not be present. Then hypertrophy of right ventricle. Hypertrophy of right ventricle, you know already very well. Excess amount of blood passes towards the right ventricle. So due to that, the right ventricle can't able to tolerate the pressure. So they try to push it towards the pulmonary artery. Even though they are trying maximum to push towards the pulmonary artery, but pulmonary artery is having stenosis. So due to that, the blood will be having backflow once again to the right ventricle. So from the right atrium towards the right ventricle, from the pulmonary also, the blood is not properly passing over. So it will be settled down once again in the right ventricle, and from the left ventricle also some of the blood will pass towards the right ventricle via the ventricular septal defect. So due to that, hypertrophy of the right ventricle will be present. Okay, so we'll see. So first and foremost, there is a pulmonary stenosis. In this place, the leaflets are not properly opened. In this place, the leaflets are not properly opened. So due to that, what happened? Here the blood can't able to pass over properly. So in this area, so due to this stenosis, only a small amount of blood can able to pass. So due to this, what happened? So instead of entering this much amount of blood, can't able to enter. So once again, what happened? They will get backflow into the right ventricle. Okay, so this is pulmonary stenosis. Moving on to the second one. The second one is here it is present the ventricular septal defect. You can able to see this position where the ventricular septal defect is present. In this position, the ventricular septal defect is present. So due to this, what happened? Here easily the blood will used to get the blood will used to get mixing off from the left ventricle from the higher concentration, possibility of towards the lower concentration. So some of the blood will come and fade over this area. The next, you can able to see, the next is the overriding of aorta, this area. You can able to see that the aorta is present at the center of the ventricle. It is supposed to present in this area, but instead of this, this is present at the center of the ventricle. Center of the ventricle. So due to this, what happened? Excuse me. So due to this, what happened? The blood get mixed due to the ventricular septal defect. The blood from right ventricle also pushed towards the aorta, left ventricle also pushed towards the aorta. So due to this, the aorta will get mixture of purified and non-purified blood. Both will mix together. Okay, so that's why it is in purple color. Okay, and the last one is hypertrophy of the right ventricle. So hypertrophy of the right ventricle, how it happens? It's already we saw the pulmonary artery contributions, then ventricular septal defects, plus this both will lead to excess accumulation of blood in the right ventricle, because right ventricle try to push the blood, but maximum blood will not be pushed towards the pulmonary artery. So due to that, remaining, like example, you can take 30% pushed towards pulmonary artery and 70% settle down in right ventricle. Then from the left ventricle also some of the blood used to get mixed towards the right ventricle. So due to this excess pressure in the right ventricle, automatically they will become hypertrophic. Okay, so here, so this is about tetralogy of Fallot. So these are the four disease conditions. So tetralogy of Fallot, which carries four defects, that is pulmonary stenosis, ventricular septal defect, overriding of aorta, hypertrophy of right ventricles. So what are the causes? Maybe causes are same as usual, genetic or chromosomal abnormality, but majority of the causes are unknown, idiopathic. The next, maternal abuse of alcohol during pregnancy leading to fetal alcohol syndrome. So maternal abuse of alcohol during pregnancy leading to fetal alcohol syndrome is linked to the tetralogy of Fallot as per the research study as identified. Then mothers who take medications to control seizures and mothers with phenylketonuria, they are also having the possibility of producing this tetralogy of Fallot, because mainly these medications, that is particularly they are tetragonic effect of the drugs. So these medications will affect the child neural tube defects, particularly it was concentrated mainly on the cell development. So next, clinical manifestation. Moving on to the clinical manifestation, now mainly this is depends on the size of the ventricular septal defect and the degree of the right ventricular outflow. Right ventricular outflow particularly. So in this right ventricular outflow, if you are taking the pulmonary stenosis, this is mainly dependent on the ventricular septal defect and pulmonary stenosis. So cyanosis is the first and foremost signs and symptoms. Indications of tetralogy of Fallot is blueness, blue color of the skin, lips and nail beds. The next, irritable or lethargic. Then polycythemia, the decreased exercise tolerance, squatting position in case of older children. One of the fine signs and symptoms we can able to identify. The child used to maintain the squatting position, which gives more comfortable for the child. Squatting position is nothing but the knees are bring forward towards the chest and holding by the encircled by the hands, encircled by the arms and forearms. Hypercyanotic spell, TED spell, or we can say it as TED spell, hypercyanotic spell. That is which indicates a repeated episode of the signs and symptoms. So we'll see about TED spell or hypercyanotic spell. This is one of the main signs and symptom or main features. Paroxysmal dyspneic attack will be present for the child. Occurs during first to 24 months. So last for a few minutes to hours. Mainly, the dyspneic attack will be there. Then cyanosis follows. Then restless. Then gaps for breathing. Then short episode leads to sleep and severe prolonged episode leads to unconsciousness or convulsions or even death. How this episode used to start? This episode always used to follow the category, particularly when the child was feeding. So during this feeding time, what happened? The child can't able to tolerate and the child will become restless and the child will have gaps for breathing. Automatically the child will fall into the dyspnea because the child trying to have the feeding, but the child can't able to take the feeding properly due to the tachypnea. So due to that, the child will follows to the dyspneic attack. So that will lead to cyanosis. So this short episode leads to sleep. So because the child try to suck, but the child will become tired soon and go for sleep. If repeated episode of this follows, the child will leads to unconsciousness, then convulsions or even death also. This is called TED spell. Clear? Next, moving to the diagnostic evaluation. So moving on to the diagnostic evaluation, chest X-ray, you can able to see that the heart is having a shape of boot shape, particularly due to the right ventricular hypertrophy. So due to the right ventricular hypertrophy, automatically the right side will get enlarged. So due to that, it gives the resemblance of boot shape in the X-ray. The next, ECG, always the ECG shows the variations in the rhythm as well as the ventricular functioning. Echocardiogram. Echocardiogram, two-dimensional echocardiogram with the Doppler study and color flow mapping to identify the abnormalities and the degree of the problem associated with this one, which is one of the 5 to identify or to diagnose the problem. Next, the cardiac catheterization. This may be performed as a supportive surgical intervention at the same time to identify the location and number of ventricular septal defects is present and the pulmonary vascular resistance, then the degree of right ventricular tract obstructions and presence of any coronary abnormalities. Right ventricular outflow tract obstructions. Okay, then management, mainly management includes medical management, monitor oxygen saturation level, monitor growth and development, monitor for hypercyanotic spell. Then balloon pulmonary angiography may be performed if the ventricular septal defect is smaller one. Surgical interventions are potential obstacles for one stage repair, multiple VSD is present means at the same time pulmonary atresia is present. Then palliative surgery, particularly with the help of DT shunt. Then definitive surgery, patch closure of ventricular septal defect, relief of left ventricular outflow tract obstruction. So these are selective surgeries, potential obstacles, palliative surgery, definitive surgeries, where these several surgeries will performed together. But one main feature of the here the child condition has to be assessed and the child should have a satisfactory weight. If the satisfactory weight gain is present according to the age, then the surgery may be planned for the child. And first and foremost, here the child should not have any infection before the surgery. So if the child is having any infection or pneumonia is present, the surgery can't able to be performed. So this is about tetralogy of Fallot, one of the important conditions. So over this tetralogy of Fallot, we have to know about the nursing management. The nursing management will be having in two categories, pre-operative and post-operative. In common format, if you are seeing the nursing management, first and foremost one, we can able to see the cardiac output. There is a diminished cardiac output is present for the child. Then the cyanosis is present. So over the cyanotic also you can able to write the nursing diagnosis. Then the third one, if you're saying the child nutritious level was diminished, then high risk for infections. These are the common features you can able to write for the nursing diagnosis.